Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
And we are back, day 3 of 3 of reviewing movies, because a whole bunch of stuff came out over the weekend, like all in a row.
We'll make up for that in the summer when nothing's coming out.
Yeah. We're here, or let's see, wow, I botched this intro.
Yeah, the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Which I'm apparently lacking. And I'm your host, Niall.
And I'm Nolan.
And we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review, and then giving you a spoiler warning, and then going more in depth into it after that. Yeah, so I had a theory, though, before we get into the review on this lack of movies over the summer. Like, what if there's just a bunch of stuff that is coming, but since they haven't announced official release dates for it yet, IMDb just doesn't list it?
Possible.
Except they usually list, the end of the year for movies they expect to come out in the year, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
So, this movie, starring Nicolas Cage.
As Nic Cage.
Starring Nicolas Coppola. Right?
Yeah, apparently that's what he was credited. Like, in the credits, he's Nicolas Kim Coppola.
Playing Nic Cage with a K, N-I-C-K, which the more observant of you might note, that's not how Nicolas Cage spells Nick.
He spells it N-I-C.
Yes. He also goes by Nicky in this movie, and I'm pretty sure Nic Cage does not go by Nicky in real life.
No, Nicky is that...
Oh, right.
I don't want to spoil it. He has this alter...
Yeah, that's right.
Ego thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, anyway, so this movie starring Nic Cage, sort of loosely based on Nicolas Cage's life in some ways. I mean, the specific events of the show aren't, but where he is in his life sort of are.
Yeah.
He's sort of, his spending problems and his obsession with his work have ruined his relationship with his family, which in the movie he has a daughter and a wife, and in real life he has 2 sons. And, and then also, as a result, he's getting sort of, not the best roles in movies.
Yeah, he also, what's kind of funny is, he, I don't know, it kind of plays around with his, over dramatic acting style.
Yeah, and his propensity to yell randomly.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, he does that throughout the movie, and then at one point he's doing he's trying to read for a director, and then this performance is terrible. The director was all ready to put him in a movie, and then he does his performance, and he's nah.
Yeah. So, but that sets the stage for the crazy events to follow, because of course there has to be shenanigans, and he's hired to go just attend this birthday of this wealthy Spanish man, played by Pedro Pascal.
Yep.
So,
this feels like a sort of 80s or 90s comedy.
Yeah, it does.
In a lot of ways. Very bromance comedy.
Very much a very solid bromance movie. And yeah, I mean, it was a very funny movie.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Of the 3 movies we saw this weekend, it's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I think The Northman was a better movie. But The Northman's not the kind of thing that has a whole lot of rewatchability, I think.
Yeah. This is a really funny movie.
Yeah, and they pull, or they dig down into Nic Cage's career quite a bit, referencing.
Yeah, referencing some movies. I'm oh
so
man, I didn't even
movies.
remember that movie.
Yeah, and so many movies of his.
You expect Face Off and The Rock and Con Air
and National Treasure.
Right, but then they're going back to early, much earlier works. I think they mentioned like Rumblefish was mentioned
Maybe.
at some point. The Cotton Club. Oh, what was that movie? I don't think they mentioned Vampire's Kiss. That was a crazy one. What was that one where he was a Secret Service agent?
Oh, I don't know, man. So
I'm trying to look at his profile here and find it.
yeah, but I mean, everyone's great in this. I really like Pedro Pascal. So, I think he's shown us, he's got a pretty good range of acting, and he was very funny. The movie, like, it also has Tiffany Haddish in it, which, like, there was a correct amount of her in there.
Yeah, she can be a bit much sometimes.
Yeah,
But for her, it was actually kind of a subdued performance.
it was. I was kind of worried because in the trailer she's all like, fangirling over Nic Cage and is like, oh my god, in the trailer, and I was just thinking like, oh man, or just like I'm gonna have to deal with that, and it's like, no, that was just that one scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like an act.
Yeah. So, there's that. But yeah, I recommend checking this movie
I definitely
out.
recommend this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a really funny movie.
You're also a cinephile, and this movie is made for people like you.
Yeah, what's funny is so a big part of the bromance between Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal's characters is they're both cinephiles and just talking about movies, not just Nicolas Cage movies, but a lot of Nicolas Cage movies.
Yeah.
There's this all these people in this movie have this. It's funny. It's like non-Americans in this movie all just like, wow, Nicolas Cage, he's a great actor. And then I think most Americans would not think of Nicolas Cage as a great actor, although
he's a prolific actor.
He's a prolific actor. He's given some really good performances and stuff. I would not say like the movie Con Air is great, but that accent is so weird. It's fake.
Con Air is a fun movie. I wouldn't say it's a great movie.
Well, I mean, it's an entertaining movie, but his accent in Con Air is so unrealistic sounding.
Their layout of Vegas in that movie, though, is outrageous.
That's like the worst offender of
We're
movies set in Vegas.
Yeah, very particular about that. Always very judgmental of that.
Yeah,
Con Air is the worst.
They gave no craps about where anything is located when they laid out the Vegas sequence.
Yeah, you cannot go from the strip through the airport tunnel as if it's like one thing. You got to go 3 blocks over and a block south from the southern end of the strip.
Well, and then also the plane goes down the strip and then it hits the Hard Rock.
Doesn't it go through the airport tunnel and then hit the Hard Rock?
No, there's a chase sequence through the airport tunnel.
That's what it was, yeah.
And the tunnel is way, way longer than it actually is. It's not a particularly long tunnel.
It takes 20, 30 seconds to drive through the airport tunnel. Top.
Yeah, I guess. There's this whole chase scene, and then they wind up.
Yeah, the Hard Rock is not on the strip, by the way.
Hard Rock was not. It's not there anymore. Not the Hard Rock anymore.
No, but the Hard Rock did buy. They bought a strip casino.
Yeah, but no, that hotel was not on the strip. And anyway, we're getting off topic. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say without spoiling anything. I recommend the movie, especially if you want to see a comedy.
Yeah, and especially if you're a fan of. When I say a fan of Nic Cage, I think most people's fandom of Nic Cage is
they like Nic Cage movies.
They like the bombacity of Nic Cage.
Yeah.
And this definitely leans into that.
What did he win? He has an Academy Award, right? What did he win that for?
For acting?
Yeah.
He has an Academy Award for acting?
I believe so.
What?
Let's see.
What? That's
I can't find it.
yeah, shouldn't it be on his IMDb page here? I think you're making shit up.
Let's see. Leaving Las Vegas. So he has 2 nominations and 1 win. And that win?
Whoa, he's playing Joe Exotic in that show? In that Joe Exotic show?
Did that actually happen? There was a rumor that he was doing that.
Whoa, according to IMDb here, he's playing Joe Exotic in that untitled Joe Exotic miniseries.
Yeah, he has a best actor award for Leaving Las Vegas. So there.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, that's not your standard Nicolas Cage
No.
performance though. So anyway, should we throw up a spoiler warning here?
Sure.
All right. So, spoilers. I guess I don't know if it was in the trailer or not, but the CIA believes that Pedro Pascal's character is involved with some shady stuff,
and
he's
in the Spanish mafia,
and he's
family.
kidnapped the daughter of some politician.
He's running for
re-election or something.
President or what? I guess
I don't know.
I think it's president.
And so they
of Spain.
Yeah, they so the CIA is got Nicolas Cage trying to investigate him, but at the same time they're becoming best friends.
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, Pedro Pascal's not involved in it. It's his cousin.
Yep.
But yeah, they're like best buddies. So one of the funniest scenes is when they do acid. And they're getting paranoid. And they're just sitting there like in this town, and they're like, there's these 2 guys sitting like across the street from them. They're like, are those guys following us?
Yeah.
And they're like getting all paranoid over it.
That scene in the trailer, where
they're trying to go over that wall.
Yeah, where they're trying to climb over the wall.
Yeah.
That's during that whole
You
scene.
can tell in that scene in the trailer that they're definitely high.
Yeah.
But yeah, they wind up making a movie at the end, and Demi Moore plays Nicolas Cage's wife
in the
movie in the movie within the movie.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know what else to talk about in this movie.
Like that's how it tends to be for comedies for us. It's like, yeah, it was funny. Like unless it does something really different.
There
like,
was
there's not a whole lot to talk about with comedies.
Yeah, and that as far as that spoiler that Pedro Pascal is not. I was like, I knew from the get-go.
Oh yeah.
When they introduced his cousin, I'm like, that's some shady looking dude. He's obviously the real bad guy.
Yeah.
Because he just looked evil. Right? He just had that look about him.
He looked movie evil.
Yeah, he had a movie evilness about him. So I don't know. There's nothing really else to talk about this movie.
What's your favorite Nic Cage movie?
Favorite?
I can tell you mine. That's an easy one for me.
For you?
You could probably guess it.
Favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
I'm gonna guess yours is The Rock.
I really loved The Rock when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still my favorite one. Into the Spider-Verse, maybe?
It's not a Nic Cage movie.
It's got Nic Cage in it.
Sure, but that's not a Nic Cage movie.
Let's see.
While you're trying to think of that guess, I will say I am actually kind of looking forward to this Renfield movie.
Is it Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance?
No.
Oh.
It is not.
Not Kick-Ass either.
No, would you classify that as a Nic Cage movie?
I don't know.
I mean, he had a bigger role in that he did in Spider-Man, but
National Treasure?
no, absolutely not. Not that that was a bad movie, but like I kind of also don't care if I ever see it again.
Then all I got left is Con Air.
Oh, dude, it's Lord of War.
Oh.
Duh.
When's the last time you even watched Lord of War?
Like last year?
Really?
Yeah. I give it a rewatch every now and then.
You ever see Vampire's Kiss?
No.
It's this movie, he thinks he's a vampire because someone like random like hobo or something bites him or something, so he thinks he's a vampire. He's not. But there's a scene where he's like eating cockroaches or something. It's like
I will say I don't like rewatch Lord of War a whole lot because that is a heavy movie. Like there's some dark shit in that movie, man.
And I know it has its fans, but Face Off is decidedly not on my list.
Face Off is an awful movie.
Not on my list of favorite Nicolas Cage
It's
movies.
just a dumb from concept to final product. That is a dumb movie.
What was that? Left Behind or something, right? He was in that, right?
Yeah, that was that time period where he was doing whatever because he really needed cash. You could tell he was phoning it in for that movie.
Yeah, I was looking at it here, where he's got like 6 roles between 2014 and 2015.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, and Left Behind, that was produced by a church group, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
He was probably like
5 roles in 2016. That was
he was
also
probably
part
like,
of it.
damn, we can afford Nic Cage. Or they probably didn't say damn, or maybe they did. I don't know.
So if you,
I'm just assuming because I'm like 90% certain that movie was produced by a church organization.
he's got like 6 roles in 2016. I bet you've only heard of one of these movies.
In 2016?
Yep. So there's The Trust, Dog Eat Dog, Snowden, which you probably have heard of, USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, Army of One. Yeah. I've heard of Snowden, but
I've heard of The Trust. I have no clue what it's about though.
Did a bunch of movies in 2017. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, like the whole like
6 in there. There's Arsenal, Vengeance, a love story.
The whole of the 20 teens.
Inconceivable.
The
Mom
whole of
and
the 20
Dad.
teams. He was in a ton of movies.
The Humanity Bureau. Is that like a ripoff of the Adjustment Bureau? Dark. Oh, I forgot. He was Superman in Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah, that was an underrated movie. You should go check out a review of that movie.
That was a good movie.
That was a great movie.
I love Stan Lee's cameo in that.
Yeah, he's like,
when he's like, I don't care if it's DC, I love being at movies.
Yeah. That was a great movie. That was like the second to last thing Stan Lee did, I think.
Yeah.
Before he did
because the last thing he did was
Captain
Marvel. And he died before Captain Marvel was released, right?
Yes. So, but yeah, so go check out The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is a great name, but boy howdy is that a mouthful.
Yeah, it took me a while to like remember it all. Do you remember Nicolas Cage played Fu Manchu in
Machete, or in that it was that trailer.
It was that trailer that Rob Zombie did for
Grindhouse.
Yeah.
It was Werewolf Women of the SS.
Yeah, it was the Werewolf One of the SS trailer.
Yes, which that was such like a perfectly executed trailer. Like that was exactly the mood that was being attempted.
Werewolf Women of the SS.
So next movie we're gonna see is gonna be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And then there's also Top Gun and the Bob's Burgers movie in May, which we'll be seeing both of those, I would imagine. Sounds like we're seeing Jurassic World Dominion
Yeah.
It's the only thing scheduled to release that week, man. Definitely seeing Lightyear. That movie looks great.
You know what's really like kind of disappointing is that like Jurassic Park is such an amazing movie, and then like none of the follow-up movies are really any good.
Jurassic World is okay.
It has its moments, but it's still not.
It's fine. The rest of the series are bad movies, though. It sounds like we're on the hook to see Elvis.
Yeah.
And this Minions movie.
Yeah. That's the problem with having boomer parents.
Yeah, well, especially having a boomer mom with a bum leg who can't drive herself. So.
Yeah.
And then we've got Thor: Love and Thunder. Definitely seeing that. Yeah, Bullet Train. This is where we get to like just not a whole lot coming the rest of the year. Unless they announce, like I said, unless there's just stuff that's supposed to be coming out that they haven't announced official release dates for yet, and so they aren't actually listed here on the IMDb coming soon section, which is not the most accurate thing. How many weeks in a row was I saying like, oh yeah, we got Morbius coming up?
But it kept getting pushed back.
Yeah.
Like all through December.
And January.
In January, we kept saying that.
Yeah. And then Black Adam.
So basically, why are you even listening to this portion of our video? Because it's never right.
Black Panther. And it's just kind of depressing seeing like the lack of stuff coming out the rest of the year. You know, and like we were thinking, it might be just a result of that time period where no one was working on movies during COVID, and that chunk is finally catching up. Do you think we're actually going to see this Avatar 2 in December?
I mean, what? It's been like 15 years or something. You think it really need to be pushed back even more?
Dude, James Cameron's old.
Yeah.
Dude is like almost 70 years old.
And from what I understand, for a Canadian, he's kind of an asshole.
Really?
He has a temper, and like he's very demanding as a director. But
so,
you know, if he likes you, then you're golden.
Looking at his director's credits here on IMDb, according to this, so last thing he did after Avatar, the first thing he did after Avatar, as a director, that was a feature movie,
Not a documentary,
is Avatar 2.
Yeah.
What the hell? I didn't realize that. What's he been doing?
Raising the bar.
He's just been like diving down into the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. He wrote for Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, you didn't know that? He produced that movie too.
I kind of remember. Yeah, I kind of remember knowing he produced it.
I wonder if they're gonna make that sequel, and Edward Norton's gonna get to speak.
I hope so.
I liked that movie.
Yeah, it just wasn't a huge commercial success. But yeah, I truly think James Cameron's gonna die before we get this Avatar 5 that says it's filming. 2 and 3 say that they're in post-production. I'll believe it when I see it. So, anyways, that's what we got coming up. Hopefully there's actually more than that coming up, but that's just the stuff that we know for sure based on what IMDb says, which if you're getting your information about movies from any other source, why?
Yeah.
I knew someone in college who looked up all the information about movies from Wikipedia. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's not
like, it's
really organized for that.
Right, it's in the name. Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's what we got coming up. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, I guess like this video, because that means that if you like this video, you're actually more likely to get our future videos recommended to you than if you just subscribe to the channel.
Oh yeah.
Yes, from what I can tell, I've been looking at, not specifically, but like I've seen some stuff lately, people sort of analyzing the way YouTube's going these days and talking about this stuff. I haven't specifically been seeking this information out. It's just come up in some videos I've seen.
Okay.
And like, especially if you hit the bell and then start to watch a video and then don't finish the video because you're like watching on your phone at work or your lunch break or something, and you're like, I'll finish this when I get home. That actually does more harm than good for a channel. It's like,
because YouTube sees it as like, oh, this video wasn't good enough for someone to finish.
Yeah,
they're a bad creator.
And it's like an average of like this video I was watching. Guy was talking about they have 10 million subs for their channel. They have, I think he said 900,000 people have hit the bell. And when a new video goes up, on average, 11,000 views on a given video are conversion from that push notification. Okay. 11,000 out of 900,000.
Yeah.
So, don't hit the bell. I don't give a shit. I mean, hit the bell if you want. I just really don't care if you do or not. But yeah, no, liking the video though is more likely to get our future videos to pop up in your feed, or leaving a comment.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, so yeah, this is your little look into what appears to be the way YouTube works these days. So
they're always changing.
Yep. So yeah, until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Toodles.